Welcome to Dharmic Evolution. Hey everybody, I'm your host James Kevin O'Connor, singer-songwriter, audio-video artist, master storyteller, and international talent agent. Hey, wanted to thank all you ladies and guys out there for signing up on the Dharmic Evolution Facebook community page. I've been giving some shout-outs about this, as you know, for a few weeks now, and you can post things there about your brand, your career. Share it with us, you know. It's not just the family of creators out there, but all of our worldwide audience who love to check in on the latest musical talent. So lots of you guys have been listening and taking advantage of this platform. We want you to pull in some more fans just by posting what you're doing. Hey, we also just launched our first full-length Dharmic Evolution TV broadcast, and you can check it out over on the James O'Connor Agency YouTube channel. It's our very first video episode, and it's DE 136, Clara Loforo from New York City. She's just back from a European tour. She was in Italy. I think she was even in Russia, actually. So she's back in the city now. So head over and check out that show. It's up on our YouTube channel right now. And one other thing I want to ask you once again, if you're digging these shows, leave us a review in iTunes, okay? It only takes a couple minutes, and we really appreciate that. Today, we're heading west to the Houston, Texas area with a singer-songwriter who's been influenced by artists like John Foreman, Switchfoot, John Mayer, Jeremy Camp, Skillet, Dave Matthews Band, and Red, but mostly influenced by our Lord. Yes, it's U.S. Navy veteran Justin Gambino. You'd better strap up your seatbelts and let's go for a ride. Are you a singer-songwriter, artist, or author? Are you in need of a platform for your career? Well, the James O'Connor Agency is in the business of helping you broadcast your global career. If you are needing to expand your presence in a big way, such as having your music and your voice heard around the world, well, look no further. We have the platforms here to help you catapult your career like no one else can. Your artistry can be featured around the world on the James O'Connor Agency YouTube channel. Here at the James O'Connor Agency, we can expand your global career by being a featured guest on Dharmic Evolution for singer-songwriters and everyone in the entertainment industry. Or The James O'Connor Show, designed for authors, speakers, and thought leaders. Both shows are international radio, TV shows, and podcasts. Go to thejamesO'ConnorAgency.com and find out what we can do for your global career right now. We are in Houston, Texas. Justin Gambino is with us, man. Hey, Justin, welcome to the Dharmic Evolution.
Well, thank you for having me, brother. I really appreciate it. I'm honored to be here.
Yeah, you know, I got to say, first off, thank you for your service to this country. You are a veteran, man. So tell us a little bit about that experience, if you would, please.
Yeah, so I joined the Navy in 2005 as a United States Seabee. So I was in the construction battalion, did a tour in Iraq in 2007. And then after I got back from Iraq, did some reserve time in Galveston, Texas, over at Ellington Field. And then I got out in 2013 whenever my music started taking off a little bit more, and I really wanted to pursue that. And I had 8 years in, you know, and all my buddies were like, "Hey, man, you're almost halfway to retirement, bro. You should stay in." And I was like, "No, the music is tugging on my heart and calling my name." And I then got out and started growing my hair out.
You were taking a little revenge, man, from all those years with the crew cut, right? You know.
Yeah. You know,
well, hey, listen, well, you have it. You know, you got the long locks, man. That's the Samson thing, right?
yeah, Samson thing. That's for sure.
Yeah,
that's for sure, man.
Well, I got to tell you, you're a brave soul to, to give up like the guaranteed thing and just go into the music business. You know, that is definitely, a leap of faith, and God bless you for doing it. So tell us a little bit about, I want to circle back to the military again, but for now, I want to ask you about your music career. So how did you first get connected to the music that you're inspired by? Like, when did it all start for you? Like, were you really young when you first started playing and singing?
I was kind of young. I was about 14, 15 years old whenever my best friend got a guitar. He got a guitar from his parents, and every time I'd go over there, I would all I knew was the G chord and the E minor chord. That's all I knew, and just one strum pattern. And so I just play it over and over and over again. And I think at one point, he complained to his mom, and then his mom talked to my mom, and she was like, "Hey, you need to get Justin his own guitar because every time he comes over, he's playing my son's guitar."
Oh,
And
I thought he was gonna. I thought you were gonna complain about only the two chords.
no,
We need a third chord to get a complete song in, right?
I know, right?
Yeah.
So after that, that was the Christmas I was 15 years old. My parents got me my first guitar, and let's see, my first song I ever learned, it was by ear, was "Crash" by Dave Matthews.
Yeah,
and
good choice.
and so but how I really got started in music was in the church. I started leading worship, helping out with the worship team at my church with the youth group.
Right.
And then whenever I was 18, I was leading worship for the 5th and 6th graders. And then now when I'm back home, I help out with the worship team in the regular services. And so I really got my start as a worship leader in the church. And then, yeah, that's where I got my start. And a lot of my music is influenced by my own testimonies. If I hear about someone else going through struggles or something like that, or something speaks to me or stands out to me, I write a song about it.
Right. Well, let's listen to the first track here and find out what happened in church for You, My Heart.
You've got me feeling like the rising tide, highs and lows, the salty Pacific air reminds me that I'm so far from home. But when we speak, I feel like I'm home. My heart is like a cave for you to explore. You've got the only key to my wandering soul. For you, my heart is an open door. For you, my heart is an open door. It's an open door. And I've experienced love most of my days, but you're the only one who's loved me this way. And I've realized what separates us, it's all my mistakes that I tend to make and show I'm fake. My heart is like a cave for you to explore. You've got the only key to my wandering soul. For you, my heart is an open door. For you, my heart is an open door. And I am like the waves crashing on your shore, relentlessly searching for so much more. For you, my heart is an open door. For you, my heart is an open door. Reignite this flame in me. Reignite this flame in me. Reignite this flame that's burned so long. my heart. For you, my heart is an open door. For you, my heart. For you, my heart is an open door. Reignite this flame that's burned so low. My heart is like a cave for you to explore. You've got the only key to my wandering soul. For you, my heart is an open door. Yeah. For you, my heart is an open door. And I am like the waves crashing on your shore, relentlessly searching for so much more. For you, my heart is an open door. Yeah. For you, my heart is an open door. It's an open door.
For You, My Heart. What do you say, Justin? Give us a backstory on that. Why did you write that? Where did that inspiration come from, my friend?
So for the song For You, My Heart, I wrote it down on Laguna Beach in California. I was on a solo tour last year, and just let me think back. I was chilling on the beach watching the sunset. I decided to bring my guitar with me. It's not every day that I get to go down to the Pacific Ocean. And so I did a house concert in Santa Ana, and then I performed at a church in Temple City. And just those words before I left for the beach, those words just like all of a sudden came up in my spirit. For you, my heart is an open door.
Right.
And one thing that I'm fascinated with is caves and waves. And
Caves and Waves. I'm writing that down. Did you write the song yet? That's your title, man. Caves and Waves.
You can have it. You can have it. No, so I found this little cave area down in Laguna Beach.
Yeah.
And I had this. I was thinking about home. I was thinking about my wife. I was thinking about my relationship with the Lord, and how that first verse was kind of talking about how I'm kind of missing home, but whenever we speak, it feels like I'm home,
Right.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
But then again, as I got deeper into the song, I was like, this could be so much deeper than just missing home or missing my wife. This could be, Lord, I'm kind of strayed away and I feel so far from home. But when we speak, I feel like I'm getting back into the groove of things like I need to.
Right.
And so the chorus, my heart is like a cave for you to explore. So I was like sitting in this cave, and I'm like, I want my cave. Like I was so excited to like see this cave and like explore it.
Right. Yeah.
And I for me personally, like I want God to be like so excited whenever I'm like, hey, my heart's like a cave for you to explore. Like, come on in and just have
Fill
your
it
way.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fill it up with waves.
Right. Right.
Just rush it. And so that was and then that's the first part of the chorus. And then as the sun starts going down, the tide starts coming in. And I'm watching these waves just crash, they're like relentlessly like in pursuit of the shore.
Right. Yeah.
And so I'm just like, I'm like the waves crashing on your shore.
So this was a solo moment, like you were totally alone?
I was totally alone.
Yeah.
It was just me. It was just me on the beach with my guitar. And I remember, and the cool thing is it seems like every time I'm out on the road, I run into a photographer.
Right.
And so I'm like, after I write this song, or right before I wrote this song, I ran into this guy that was taking photos of the sunset and the beach. I just asked him, I was like, hey man, can you just snap a shot of me over here on the beach? And he's like, yeah, sure. So I kind of gave him some of my merchandise to like, hey, can you send me that photo? And
Right.
here's my email. Like, here's a CD and here's a T-shirt. And
Yeah.
so we still stay in contact and stuff. But I want to document that moment. Like that evening is whenever I wrote that song.
Yeah, great. And that's a great trade, by the way, giving away some of your, I mean, I do that all the time when I'm traveling. When I hand my guitar, like right before I get on the plane, I hand it to the baggage guy. I usually give him a CD, you know, say, hey, take care of my baby, you know, God bless you, you know.
Hey,
It's
that's a good idea.
Yeah, you don't want to leave them in your closet. You know, it's like there's so many ways, and most people I think do appreciate it, especially if they see, like you're a traveling musician. It's like, you know, the curiosity factor is going to get to them. They're going to check out, and sometimes I say, listen, if it's not your cup of tea, just hand it off to somebody who might enjoy it. You know.
Yeah.
But hey, tell me a little bit more about your experience in Iraq. You know, what was it like when you first got there? I mean, how did it hit you when you first got there and said, wow, what is going on here? Can you share a little bit about that experience?
Yeah, so it was really a whole lot different than I thought. I was in a city called Balad, which was
Hmm.
about an hour, if I remember correctly, it was about an hour south of Baghdad. So about a 30 to 40 minute helo ride into Baghdad, and you were there.
Right,
Um, and so whenever I got there, I'm literally thinking we're gonna jump off this C-130, and there's gonna be rounds flying over my head, and I'm
right.
gonna be, you know, like there's gonna be dust storms and everything. But actually, Balad is like a place with a lot of vegetation and a lot of farming.
Yeah,
And so when we got there, it was dark. It was in the middle of the night because they want to do all their fly-ins whenever it's really dark and the enemy can't see a whole lot. They don't have all that, technology as
right.
much as we do.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, so we got there really, really late, and I just remember waking up the next morning, and it was dusty, but it was a lot of vegetation,
yeah,
and so that whole experience was pretty surreal. I was based on I can't say the exact name of the base, but I can tell you I was on an airstrip, and
right.
so um, and so on this airstrip, I mean, we would always be getting indirect fire, always. And
Yeah,
indirect fire means they're shooting mortar rounds over the fence, aiming for the airfield, and so you'd have this fence that separated us from the enemy, and there would be like this big old burn, and there's a huge fence, and then we have sniper outposts and whatnot, and then it would be all of our housing. We'd be staying in either tents or they would call them uh, SWA huts, and then and so we'd be staying in these huts, and then there'd be the airstrip. So they're lobbing these mortars like over where we're sleeping, to try to get to the airstrip, and sometimes they'd come up a little short, and so you'd have to just listen for the sirens about if there's something coming in.
yeah.
Uh,
How much
but
time do I have to dive under my cot? Right. That's good
yeah,
protection.
yeah. So they had these bunkers, and like the first month, whenever sirens would go off, and they'd be like, incoming fire, take cover. The first month, you're like, oh my gosh, we got to get to the bunker.
Yeah.
And after that month, I'd be shaving in the shower or something, and I'd hear the sirens go off, and I'm like, I'd still
Just
be
keep
shaving.
going.
Like if it's my time, it's my time.
Yeah. Right.
The bunker's half-mile away, and this thing's coming in 10 seconds. Like
Yeah. Not much
it's
you
my,
can do about it. Right.
it's yeah. I might
Yeah.
if I might it might hit me running there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I
Did
might as well just
did
stay put.
did you cut
Uh,
yourself shaving?
no,
See, you were
that,
so conditioned by that point, man. It was just like
yeah,
this
that
is
was
not
probably
even
like after month 4 or something like that, if I remember correctly.
right.
Um, but yeah, and so it was probably after a couple months being there. Um, I had my guitar. I had my dad ship my guitar to me
Right.
over
Right.
to Iraq, and because there was a chapel there that they needed people to help out with the worship team,
Oh,
and
nice.
I was like, man, I can do this.
Yeah.
And so, and Iraq was a tough time for me because not only was I away from home, um, but on my birthday, which is actually this Thursday, So it'll be
Happy birthday, brother. You're on the Dharmic evolution, man. Look what you got going on in your life. I'm telling you.
Thanks, man. Yeah, so like this year, 2017, it'll be 10 years since I spent my 21st birthday. Oh man, I just told everybody how old I was.
See that? There you go, man.
It was 10 years since the day I turned 21 in Iraq, and it was the same day that my grandfather passed away.
Wow.
So,
series of events.
Yeah, that was really tough.
Yeah.
And and I wasn't able to go home for that just because of it was really dangerous to get on the C-1 or get on the helicopter, get to the C-130, then fly back to Germany, then fly back to Maine, fly back to California, do the demobilization, and get back to Houston. It was like so much just traveling that it was. I'm sure the reason why they wouldn't let me go is because it was just too dangerous.
Yeah, right. A lot of connections. Well, I think it's time to play another one, based on those stories. If I Seek and Find, about your guitar. Here we go.
I struggle in this world with this hardness in my heart, and I can't seem to find what sets me apart in this life. And I feel so alone. I can't find you next to me. I can't do this on my own. I need your help to find my way on this road. And take me, break me, and take me. And he says, for I know the plans that I have for you. They're plans to prosper you and not to harm. And you will find me when you seek me with all of your heart. If you seek me with all of your heart, with all your heart. These mountains blind my sight from what's on the other side. This darkness surrounds me. I don't know if I will see the light in my time. And I can feel the sunshine coming from around the mountainside, so that I can clearly see. I need you to take these scales from my eyes and take me, break me,
Seek and Find. What a great piece of work that was, my friend. Awesome. Hey, you know, on the break, you folks didn't hear it. We were talking about all kinds of things. We were talking about anger, which related to the last subject we just spoke about. And Justin, you want to just pick it up from what we were talking about? Like, you had some anger when you came back. Can you describe what that was like and why you were angry, like when you came back from Iraq?
Yeah, I was frustrated with just the public in general, because it felt like a lot of people here in America took for granted what they had.
Right.
The gifts and the blessings that we have, that we experience every single day. And a lot of people over there in third world countries, you know, they don't, like you and I were talking about, like, it's so hard to come by clean water. And you said, like, forget the water to bathe myself. Like, I'm trying to survive here.
Yeah.
You know? And so I would come home and see how people just took for these things for granted. And I was like, man, you guys don't even know what you have.
Yeah.
No, it's right here in your hands. You're not even thankful for it. And or you're with your families all the time, you know.
Yeah.
But it was just a tough transition that took me about a year or two to get out of it, and to get out of that state of mind where, you know, I just really had to lean on God and allow Him to heal me from that.
Yeah.
So
it's so amazing when we get caught up in, well, first of all, to the point of we're a bunch of spoiled, rotten Americans, and we are in many cases, you know. It's like people just don't really appreciate that you get to sit down and eat every day, and you just turn on the faucet and there's clean water. And, you know, we're kind of oblivious to most of the people in the world don't have these things. And I'm serious when I'm saying most of the people, because what are we up to? Is it 8 billion people? I think it is. I mean, it's the numbers are getting scary, but you know, the droughts are getting worse, and the pressure on the planet is getting worse all the time. And you know, river systems are being, you know, like if you're downstream from a country who's got a lot of muscle and they're upstream and they're building a dam for hydroelectric power, I mean, you're kind of in trouble, you know. So yeah, it's kind of like these problems are beyond our ability to take care of all of them. So I feel we just have to take care of our own little piece of the planet, and that could be just an interaction with somebody who needs a cup of coffee or a sandwich, or just say hello to them, you know. And then if everybody did their little part, I think things would be a lot smoother, you know.
Yeah, it would make a huge difference.
It's really the birthday show for Justin. However, I forgot to bake a cake. Heavens to Murgatroyd. Right back to the hang with Justin after these words.
Do you ever wonder why you were created and what you're here to do? Then the geography of the soul will help you to find your true place in this world. The music is so inspirational, including tracks such as I Wanna Be Loved, State of Grace, and Ride On. James Kevin O'Connor is an internationally acclaimed singer, songwriter, music producer, entertainment agent, TV star, and a loving father who leads you to find your true place and calms your mind and soul in breathtaking ways. Buy Geography of the Soul today by James Kevin O'Connor at iTunes, CD Baby, Amazon, jameskevino'connor.com. Geography of the Soul, a beautiful CD that you need to own today, by James Kevin O'Connor.
Sponsored by the James O'Connor Agency. So you're touring now. You kind of dig the road, right?
Yeah.
With the big except for
yeah, with the big except for I miss my wife like crazy.
Yeah, it's hard.
You know, working on 6 weeks. I'm going on week 6, and I'll see home for about a day and a half in mid-June, and then it's off to the East Coast, and it's just you know, this is the largest tour that I've been on since I've started touring.
Yeah.
And So I'm thankful for that. I'm
Are
thankful
you?
for it.
Do you have a website?
I do.
Is your schedule up there?
It is.
Okay,
Yeah.
give us. We'll get it at the end, but give us your website now, real quick, while people are listening.
It's www.justingambino.com.
That's easy,
And,
man.
Yeah, and if you want to throw a slash tour in there, it'll take you right to all the stops that I'm going to be at. So
Great, because
and
you
I
said you're coming to New York area, so I'm going to find out where you're going to be, or the
Yeah,
Northeast, anyway.
Yeah, the Northeast. Yeah, I'm going to be out at Creation Fest, Northeast in Shirleysburg, Pennsylvania, which I think is just like an hour from Hershey.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So yeah, but I just heard from my radio promoter not too long ago that I've been getting some airplay up in the Northeast in Canada, also in Pennsylvania. I think it's State College, Pennsylvania. Just some other places along the East Coast. I've been getting some airplay, so I'm in the process of booking more in between dates because there's a few dates where like it's just open,
Right.
and I just need to fill some dates. So
got to plug those holes, man.
got to plug enough time for travel. I was like, I'm a one man band.
Right.
I do travel with my dog, but he can't take a driving shift.
Yeah, that's tough. Well, that's cool that you got the dog along. What's his name?
His name is Hank.
Hank is riding shotgun all the time, right?
Dude, he is. We're staying with a family right now up in eastern Idaho. So like right now, I'm looking out the window and I can see the Continental Divide. Like it's like
nice.
5 miles away on the other side's Montana.
Yeah. Oh, it must be beautiful out there.
Oh, it's beautiful. It snowed on Friday night, and it's crazy. It's just. I don't see this in Texas,
Yeah, right.
But yeah, Hank's loving it, man. And we're staying with a family in the Eastern Idaho where they have 3 boxers, and Hank is a boxer.
Awesome.
And so it's just been a full weekend of boxer love.
Yeah. Hey, you also mentioned you do house concerts, which is a rush, right? I mean, do you like house concerts? Aren't they like really cool?
I love house concerts. I love how it can be, just really an acoustic, intimate, almost like a private setting. It's almost like one of those times where you hear a big artist and you're like, oh, they're gonna be at this lounge, this acoustic lounge, and you get to like sit like 10 feet from them. And it's like I'm not huge, I'm not super famous or anything, but like people really seem to dig the house concerts. And one thing that I do is I make them completely free to book and completely free to attend.
Right.
And I think at one point I'm going to have to change that. Yeah. But for the last year and a half, it's been free to book, free to attend. And there's been a couple hosts that they've said like, hey, we really want to, just pass around a bucket for people to just throw in their donation. And I'm like, hey, that's totally up to you. I'm not asking for it. But what I do is I invest a lot into my merchandise. And so 90% of what I travel with is T-shirts, CDs, all this. I try to get really creative with my merchandise. Yeah. Making jewelry out of my picks and doing all this crazy stuff. And people seem to dig that, where they can come and they can feel like home without, going out on the town and spending a bunch of money, and they can come and enjoy some music. And we just did a house concert here in Idaho. I've done 3 house concerts in Idaho in the past week.
Wow, that's great, man.
It was just lots of fun, man. And you never know what to expect. You never know what to expect. You never know how many people are going to show up. Like I did a house concert in this little place called Tenino, Washington. 8 people showed up.
Right.
And a couple weeks before that, I was north of Albuquerque, New Mexico, and 100 people showed up at this house concert.
Wow.
So it's like you just never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, and sometimes they put you up too, which is cool, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so some people will just say, "Hey, listen, we got an extra bedroom. Stay with us,"
Yeah, and that's usually the agreement that I ask. That I talk to people about. Like, hey, if we're going to have the house concert at your place, I'd like to know if you have space for me and Hank.
Right. There you go.
And if you could put us up for the night and feed us a meal while we're in town, then we'll be on our way.
Yeah, I think I got to throw my 2 cents in. You got to start charging because what you're doing then is you're allowing people to value you in a way that is dear to their heart. And I mean that so sincerely, because it's like a lot of people come and say, well, this is my night, and I love going to these things. And I feel like if I contribute and dig in and like really, then they've invested in the relationship with you, if you will.
Yeah.
And that has a lot of power, and it has a lot of longevity, because they'll know the next time, and they'll be happy to do it. I think people are only too happy to say, you know, I like the fact that I invested in this guy's music, both to see him and to purchase his CDs, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
that's it. I'm off my soapbox. I'm off.
I appreciate those 2 cents, man. And that's one thing that I've been thinking about this year, is that, you know, I mean, because it's tough making a living just selling merchandise. You know, you just don't know if you're just going to sell 1 CD that night, or if you're going to sell, 50 CDs that night. You know,
right.
But you know, so it's always a hit and miss. But
yeah, if you think of it that way, it's like this is your intellectual property. It's your gift to them, and if you're letting them participate financially, that's a blessing to them, man. It really is. If you think of it that way, it'll be easier to charge them. You know.
Yeah.
So we got to play another one here. I think we're gonna play "Where I Belong." Let's check this one out.
Right through, willing to do what I need to do, to find the breaking point to you, to flow in the way I know is true. And I am the blood rushing through my veins, even though it aches. And I am the pain that I feel inside. And I am the place where it tends to hide. No, I won't stop. I'm gonna sing from the rooftops. No, I can't stop searching for you. And I am the fog rolling in from the sea, forcing what's seen into obscurity. Crashing on your shore, relentlessly looking for more. No, I won't stop. I'm gonna sing from the rooftops. No, I sing from the rooftops. No, I can't stop searching for you.
Where I Belong. Man, that was a passionate track. Wow, that was really, really. Hey, tell us a little bit about, Justin, how you put your music together. Like you mentioned In the Cave, that was a really cool story. But in general, is it just any old way that it comes out? Do you have like any kind of, tried and true methods where you schedule, or like as a songwriter, how does it work for you?
A lot of the times it just comes to me. I'll be picking on my guitar and I'll have a melody or just some lyrics will just come out of my heart. But it's really important for me as a songwriter to schedule time to do it.
Yeah.
Because especially since I'm doing this now as a living and doing this, this is my full-time gig.
Right.
It's important for me to schedule time to write songs, and I'm a firm believer in, like, it's okay if you write a bad song. Just don't really.
Oh, you have to write bad songs to get to the good ones. You have to do that.
You have to write the bad ones to get to the good ones.
Yeah.
And, look at them, and you're like, that I'm not gonna let anyone hear that. But sometimes those bad songs, I kind of think of like, if you're building something, and you got a skill saw, and you're you make a cut and it's bad. It's a bad cut. You just totally missed the line.
Yeah.
And you're like, that was bad. Throw that piece of wood out this way. Like, you got to get warmed up,
Yeah.
So you got to schedule time to write a few bad songs, and then you get to a good one. So, like, I think it's if I just wrote whenever I felt like it,
Right.
I don't think I'd be able to call myself a professional,
Right.
like, a lot of people, they go to work when they don't feel like it.
Yeah, it's true. Most
they
people.
Yeah. Most people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, it's important for me, like, even if I don't feel like it, I got to write a song. I did it the other day, like, I really don't feel like writing right now, but I feel like I need to.
Yeah.
And so I would just do it. And nothing really came out, or I'd get like a chorus, or I'd get like a bridge or something like that,
Yeah.
One of the coolest things that I've had happen, during my songwriting is, whenever I was working a full-time job, and I was working for Napa Auto Parts. And I remember just having these two lines come to me, and I wrote them down, and I just stuck it in my songwriting binder. And 3 years later, I'm in the middle of writing this song, and I need a bridge.
Right.
And so I just started flipping through stuff that I've written before, and I found this little torn out piece of paper that I wrote on whenever I was working that day.
Yeah.
And it fit perfectly. I was like, that's it.
Isn't that great? I have books and books of all what you just described. You never throw anything away because you can always use it. Hey, I want to play the video now. So this is going too quickly, but this is Your Hands and Feet. Check this one out. Yeah, Your Hands and Feet. What a great video, man. Congratulations on that. So tell us about that, and go back up to what you were about to say. We were just talking on the break about what you were saying.
Oh, yeah. So, you just said that what'd you say? You said something about, like,
I said you got a lot of passion in your heart, man.
Yeah. Everyone's got their own opinions. I had someone the other day kind of tell me, like, hey man, I'm kind of missing the passion in your songs.
Have you gotten your ears cleaned out lately, dude?
I'm not trying to dog anybody, but everyone's got their own opinions, and
right.
And it was and some of these songs, I walked out of that vocal booth with tears in my eyes after I sang.
Right.
And or like, for example, Your Hands and Feet. I remember it was like a super God thing, like just this like my producer, he took my scratch track to Nashville, and they were working with some other musician. I was in Houston, they were in Nashville,
Right.
And he was working with some other musician, and they got done with his project about an hour early. And all the musicians were like, "All right, we're done for the day. Let's go." And he's like, "Hey guys, I got one more for you guys to check out. I got you guys till 5. Can y'all hear this one out?" So they heard it, and he said it took him a couple takes to do that. And so he sent it to me, and I'm sitting here. I remember it was a Sunday afternoon. I just got back from church. I took a nap, and I woke up, and my wife was in the shower, and I get this email. My producer was like, "Hey, let me know what you think about this. This is what we made in from the scratch track in Nashville." And and before he left, I told him, I was like, "All right, if y'all get to work on it, I want the drums coming in here. I want the bass coming in here. I want this here. We charted it out.
Right.
And whenever I heard this song, like, I'm sitting here crying.
Yeah.
Like on the couch in my living room, and I'm just like, this is going to be a good song.
Yeah. You got to go. Who's your producer?
So the guy that I use, his name is Jason Rooks, and
Okay.
he's out of Texas. Been working with him for about 3 or 4 years now, and so he's usually the guy that gets all the musicians together, and I really trust his judgment on who to get together. And then we kind of not just go up to Nashville and knock it out of the park. We actually recorded it at Ronnie Millsap's studio.
Nice.
There in Nashville. And so they call it Ronnie's Place at Black River Entertainment.
Yeah.
And that was something else, man. That was something to experience for sure.
Ronnie's studio keeps popping up on this show over and over again, man. It's awesome, really.
Yeah. So we did that. We'll do all the musicians, the instrumentals and instrumentation, and then we'll go back down to Texas. We'll do all the vocals, background vocals, and all that good stuff. If anything else needs to be added, we'll just do it down in Texas.
Great.
And so, yeah.
Great stuff, man. Hey, we're at the end already, Justin. Went really, really quick. I only got to about 9% of what I wanted to talk to you about. But listen, before we skate out of here, give us your website again, and we'll post all your socials. We have all those, so we'll post all those for you on the show notes. But give everybody, so we can purchase and support you, buy your music. Where can we find you?
Yeah, so it's www.justingambino.com.
Awesome,
and
man.
Gambino is spelled just like it sounds.
Right.
So,
Gambino.
That's it.
There we go. Hey, man, listen, it was a real pleasure to have you on the Dharmic Evolution today. I want to just thank you so much for coming by and dig your music. I love what you're doing, your attitude. Thanks again for supporting our country like you did. And man, God bless you.
Hey, thank you so much for having me, brother. God bless you as well.
Download the album or pick up the actual CD copy of I Am Victorious right now on iTunes, Amazon, and CD Baby. And keep your eyes and ears open for the live performance tour of Mercy coming soon. This message is sponsored by the James O'Connor Agency. For my heart, if I seek and find where I belong, your hands and feet. Justin is on the road spreading the love and the music to everyone he touches. House concerts, churches, radio's now picking up his songs and playing them over the air, and he is now going to allow us to pay him for the house concerts. If you agree, you need to weigh in on the Dharmic Evolution Community Facebook page and let us know how you feel. Hank's there with a box of milk bones, so get over there. Hey, you should also head over to the James O'Connor Agency. If you have not visited this site yet, you gotta check it out. Lots of artists around the world now starting to check in and take advantage of all the things this agency is offering them. An international talent agency designed for your global career. No matter where you are in your career, we have got your back. Stop by and visit the site to find out about all of the awesome packages we have designed and developed for you. Hey, do you need funding for your next album project? Well, we got you covered. Get over to the JamesO'ConnorAgency.com. Find out what we do for singer-songwriters, musical artists, as well as authors, speakers, and thought leaders. Hey, I also want to encourage you to visit the dharmicevolution.com website. Check out your show and blog profile right now. If you've been on the show, you are now on the site. Justin is now on the site, and people from all around the world are logging in to see and hear all about Justin Gambino, his ministry, artistry, and his music. That's it for me today. I'm your host for the Dharmic Evolution, James Kevin O'Connor, singer-songwriter, audio-video artist, master storyteller, and international talent agent. So until the next time when we meet again, I'll either see you on the socials or I'll see you on TV.
First time that you made that choice. You're my favorite song. You've been stuck in my heart for such a long, long time. You're my favorite song. You got a way of making me feel that you're mine. You would always close the wound right before I would bleed to death. Your infectious melody will be with me till my last deep breath. But you're my favorite song. You've been stuck in my heart for such a long, long time. You're my favorite song. You got a way of making me feel that you're mine. Oh, you know I love a 00. Hey baby, you're the perfect size for me. Oh, and how I love those yellow stilettos. You always knew how to annihilate me.